How's it going, YouTube, and welcome back to My Comic Life. Now, this is a comic vlog that comes out Monday through Friday, so if you like what you see here, and you like hearing somebody talk about comics, go hit that subscribe button. So tonight, I decided, it's Tuesday, it's the day before the best day of the whole entire year, and that is Wednesday, New Comic Book Day. I thought I would go and put out my top 10 most anticipated comics that I'm getting next week, or this week. Yeah, woo, this week. And I'm really excited because the last couple days it has been snowing so bad over here in Washington. And going home tonight, the rain finally started, and all the snow started to get off the roads, and I was like, yes! And then I looked at the weather report, and the weather said, rain, 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 until Wednesday, where the clouds will part. And it'll actually be a nice day. So I'm really super excited to know that, the rain has come, the snow is done. So, I have, just to represent my top 10 most excited, I got these comics from last month. And coming in at number 10, the one that I'm most anticipated for, Wizard Beach by Sean Simon, Connor Nolan, and Meg Cassie. Now, this book by Boom Studios has been so much fun. You have this young kid who has come to his grandfather, and he wants his grandfather's aid to help his land. Well, his grandfather's decided, I'm leaving all that drama behind. I'm going to retire, and now we have the Wizard Beach community. And the grandson's like, I don't get this. I'm just used to all this chaos, and here people are just relaxed. It's a really fun book. I really love all the characters that are there, and hopefully this kid can finally learn how to relax. Coming in number 9, The Amazing Spider-Man. Oh man, Nick Spencer has been just doing a beautiful job. And Marvel has been doing a beautiful job with Spider-Man. Every single book that I read from Marvel with Spider-Man in there is just so good. So, number 9 comes in with another edition of Spider-Man. Coming in number 8, we have Justice League Dark. Oh man, James Tynion has been doing a terrific job with the Justice League Dark characters. And with me just quitting Justice League and maybe possibly cutting out Justice League Odyssey this month, Justice League anything has been really poor, except for this Justice League Dark. The characters are so well written. Everybody has time to shine, and I just feel like James Tynion has a true story that he wants to tell. And it's just been beautiful. And you got Man-Bat in there, who is more of a science-based character. And then you got Wonder Woman in there, who's like a Greek god. And you're just like, why are these two people in there? Well, James Tynion has been showing why they are there, and it's just some really good stuff. Coming in at number 7, we have Captain Marvel. Kelly Thompson really impressed me with this first issue. So just knowing that there's a second issue coming out, it has me really excited, because the way that she wrote the character of Captain Marvel, I was just like, holy crap! I heard how good your original run with the character was, and knowing that you're coming back on, I'm really intrigued to go and hunt down her previous work with Captain Marvel, because she had a great voice for her, and I like the interplay between her and Tony, or Captain Marvel and Spider-Woman. It's some really good stuff. And then Hawkman Hawkman that comes out this week. Ooh, Jason Vendetti is one of my favorite writers on DC at this very moment. Hawkman has been going around the galaxy trying to figure out how to stop this murderous god that's coming to Earth. And he was once like a herald of this god, and the reason why he's been reincarnated all the time is because he's tasked with saving as many people as he's put to death. And it's just some really great stuff that's been happening with Hawkman. It makes me sad because the stuff that Scott Snyder has been doing with Hawkgirl in the Justice League is nowhere near as good as what Jason Vendetti's doing with Hawkman. Criminal by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. Oh, this first issue. This is the first time I've ever read anything Ed Brubaker. And I think Ed Brubaker, I read some of his Captain America stuff. But Criminal, oh my God, was this such a good first issue. So knowing that second issue is coming out, where you have this man who just got out of prison and his son went and robbed the wrong people. Now he's out there to try to save the life of his son and pay back the people that he stole from. So, really good stuff. I'm really hoping, because that first issue was really, you got a lot for your money. And so, I'm just really excited to see where the second issue goes. Coming in, I think this is number 3, Annie Agatha's Home for Wayward Rabbits by Image Comics. Keith Giffen and Benjamin Roman have created a gorgeous world. We have it's a little bit cliched on the story aspect, where you have this Home for Wayward Rabbits. It's the last lot that this big tycoon needs to go and purchase. And you have these rabbits that talk, they speak, and they speak their mind, and they're so great. You have this rabbit that comes from Japan, and of course, when you think of Japanese, you think that they would be great kung fu fighters. And no, it points fun at itself. It's the comedic element is so strong. Keith Giffen, his dialogue is so witty, and just as witty is Benjamin Roman's art. It's just comedy gold. So if you haven't read this series, I would highly recommend going and finding the back issues or just waiting for it to come out in trade, because this book is just brilliant in my mind. Coming in, this is number 3, so that Home for Wayward Rabbits was number 4. Batman Who Laughs is coming out. Scott Snyder is a writer that I loved his New 52 Batman run. I loved his run pre-New 52 with Detective Comics. And knowing that he's come back to Batman with the character that he created in Dark Knight Metal. Ooh, man. The Batman Who Laughs is wicked. This book is just so good. Like Scott Snyder, you just feel his hand on Batman's pulse, and it's perfect. Just great Scott Snyder stuff. I know, it's like, I see Scott Snyder working on Justice League, and he's trying to be so big, but I like his smaller, more personal stuff. So, I'm just glad, though, I get the good Scott Snyder, and I cut out the bad. Winter Soldier is coming out, and this is my number 2 favorite. Now, this issue right here was the one that really sold me on the series. Jonathan Hickman's the writer, and I haven't actually checked out his work on Power Rangers, which I hear is like really amazing. But knowing that he's come over to Marvel's side, and the first issue of Winter Soldier is okay. The second issue is tremendous. You have this new Bucky Barnes kid who makes himself look like Bucky Barnes, and he's out there to assassinate people like the Winter Soldier used to. Now, the Winter Soldier has gone and helped out villains or the lackeys to get themselves new name and new identity, and he's putting these people under his protection. Well, one of the people that was under his protection, the villains found out about him, and they went to go and assassinate him, and they send this little kid to go and do it. And this second issue just dives deep into the psychology of how this kid became this Winter Soldier. It's such a good stuff. And then my number 1, Dark Horse Comics. Last week, you blew me away. And this week, I am just so excited to see how this series ends. Dark Horse Comics with the Whispering Dark. Oh, Christopher Imgard. You are just a brilliant writer. Now, in here, we have this story of this woman who joined the army on... Basically, her father was like, hey, just know that you are going into hell. Literally, like, when you're going into this war zone, it's not going to be pretty. But, I believe in you, and we've been dealing with a woman who, after her helicopter got shot down, and she got with these commandos who are just trying to survive survive in Russia. It dives deep into the psychology of this of our main character, her religion, who she is, who she'll be after this whole entire event. And will everyone survive? I have no idea. All I know is The Whispering Dark is a great psychological thriller that dives deep into the psychology of a soldier who is going through literal hell. So, however this book ends, I have just been blown away by this whole entire series. So, number 1, The Whispering Dark. And I know that next month, you're going to see The Whispering Dark come out into a trade paperback. And before that trade paperback comes out, I'm going to do a big old review on this whole entire series and, trying to convince you guys to buy this book, because this book has been consistently my favorite book month in and month out. So that was my top 10 most anticipated. We only got 24 hours to wait for for the new Comic Book Wednesday, and hopefully the snow doesn't come, so then I can go to Olympia and buy my comics. I know, it's like, I wake up before work, all tired. I go to that comic book store that's 20 miles away, get my comics, and I just feel so happy after I get those comics. And I love going into Gabby's comic shop, and like, she sees my truck, right? And she gets my books ready for me right when I get into the door. And it feels like a home, this comic book shop does. And then I go to my other comic book shop where I get all my Marvel DC stuff. And that guy is just great. So, like, there's such a good comic community over here in the Olympia area that it's just, it reinvigorated my love for comics. So, what comics are you most excited for that's coming out tomorrow? Let me know down below. As always, my name is David Lee. And if you like what you see here, go rate, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you next time on my Comic Life.